Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. Today we take on the round of 12 race 2 from Nashville Super Speedway as Kyle Larson tied me in 5 wins on the season and locked himself into the next round of the playoffs as Jesse Love, Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman, and William Byron all below the cut line. Coming into today's episode, Chase Elliott 0 points above, and Byron has double-digit numbers to make up here, 18 points if he wants to go forward. He did, of course, go from outside of the grid in the round of 16 in the final race to advance into the round of 12, and now he's got 2 races to be able to do so this time in this round of 12. We had some news this weekend. NASCAR actually announced some playoff format changes for next season. They're going to continue the same playoff format that we're using right now, with the 12 races and the final 4 being 3 races, but they are now removing, finally, win and you're in is gone. The top 16 in the points will be the playoff drivers. Simple as that. I think that's awesome and gonna be really cool if that was something that we had in real life. Nonetheless, on the racetrack here from Nashville and in this next level racing Cadillac now, and overall was a little bit concerned with the speed in this car right off the bat here now, as yeah, just didn't feel great. The car was kind of tight as well and didn't really know what to expect going into the race, but you can see our lap times there in practice, actually my last lap being the slowest of all, but overall a lot of 31.2s there, then a 3, then a 4 to end the session. Now coming through into qualifying with this next level racing on board. As you guys know, you can use the link in my description down below to get a 5% discount on next level racing products, which you can see me using right there on the camera in their GT Racer 2.0 cockpit. Use my code now GOIN5. It's been updated for a 5% discount as we come through to now turns 3 and 4 with a goal of a 30.9 flat right there on the exit of turn 4, opening up the wheel right up to the outside wall, down the front straightaway through the tri-oval. It's going to be a little bit off with a 31.228, and that unfortunately will score us in 22nd position. Not where we want to be, and I'm just overall not feeling the most confident here at this Nashville Super Speedway now, as Justin Haley qualifies all the way in the back, looking for the playoff drivers that might be starting poorly down the order. Well, it looks like we're the worst qualifier of the 12 playoff drivers. Bowman, Bell, Byron, all in the mid-teens. Chase Elliott outside the top 10. Same for Gibbs, but plenty of playoff presence in the top 10, including Kyle Larson on pole, Ryan Blaney second, and my teammate Connor Zilish in third over Logano and Rajah Caruth. We did have some trucks and Amazon Prime action in action this weekend, as Colby Howard actually won the truck race here from Nashville, and to round out the top 20 was Ty Majeski over Luke Baldwin, but to round out the field officially it was Brendan Queen as well as Jack Wood. Amazon Prime action, it was John Hunter Nemechek holding off Daniel Suarez and Brandon Jones, Allgaier and Jake Finch in the top 5. Top 20 rounded out by Harrison Burton, as you see the rest of the finishing results scrolling on your screen as we get ready to put all the focus in to the second race of this round of 12, where we come in with a very comfortable point buffer. We are 45 points above the cut line. We only gained a 3-point advantage last episode in Dover, and we look to do potentially better here today, but at the same time, I mean, based off qualifying, we might be in for a bit of a difficult night here from this Nashville Super Speedway now, but obviously paying attention to guys like William Byron, Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, Jesse Love, as Alex Bowman. I mean, good to have friends, it says there, as you see Larson on pole. Andres Perez failed optical scanning station multiple times. The colleague 16 Honda Civic will start from the back of the field. It's not been a great start to the playoffs for us so far. In the 4 races we've done, we've only been in the top 10 2 times. But the green flag is out, and we kick off the second race of the round of 12. Playoff front row of Kyle Larson and Ryan Blaney. Into turn 1, Larson's already advanced into that round of 8, of course, with his win last episode in Dover, as Larson has won both the first races of both rounds so far, as he has been in dominant form here since the playoffs have begun. As we head down this back straight away in towards turn number 3, Chris Buescher in the conversation right here. As we head into the corner, Larson leads over now Connor Zilisch in that 88. Connor Zilisch was running oh so good in Dover. Tire goes down while he's leading. He still recovers to a top 10 result late in the race and puts himself comfortably above the cut line. And right now, I mean, it's looking pretty good for most of Junior Motorsports. I really do believe we'll get all 3 of our cars into the round of 8. Connor Zilisch, if he doesn't win today, he's going to be pretty safe because he's got the Charlotte Roval to rely on, and a road course, we know his expertise there. So Zilisch is going to be really difficult to beat when you come to the Charlotte Roval. But I feel like, you know, for us, fortunately, with the 45-point buffer, we can afford a bad race. And I kind of feel like we're in store for a bad race here based off the pace in qualifying and what I'm seeing here in the first couple of laps. So we as well have the Charlotte Roval we can rely on, and we know we're going to run well at the Roval now. As how about Gio Ruggiero forcing it up the inside, moving me into the middle lane between him and the 6 of Eckes, as Zilisch actually takes the lead here on lap 3 of this race in Nashville. Now as we go back at Gio Ruggiero, I said, okay, if you want to make that lane move on me into turn 1, I'm just going to come right back at you instead of settle in, and we continue to fight. But I mean, things are not looking good early on. Lap 4 of 27 in stage 1, and we're P23. We've gone backwards, and we're getting passed by the 27 Andretti Global driver and Mid-Ohio winner from earlier in the season, Carson Kvapil. So we continue to drop down the order, and here comes Christian Eckes to my outside in the number 6. He passes me. A few moments later, I'm actually passing the 3 of Austin Hill. So there's 1 spot gained, but an overall a few spots lost. We're down to P24, as now we got a new leader, Carson Hocevar. So now we've already had our 2 JRM teammates leading laps early in this race. We've got trouble up front. Can't tell who that is. Tire, or not Tire Smoke, that's Engine Smoke. And we're going to gain a bunch of positions. It's Barry. It's Josh Barry in the 60, who's had an engine issue. You see him pulling to the inside, and all of a sudden, we're up to P16. I recognized immediately that we are going to need to get every position possible, so I basically didn't lift, and I just hoped for the best, and we managed to gain some track position. And now the question is, can we hold on to it? We're up to P16 with 19 to go in the stage. Barry into the pits. I can't confirm he's actually going to be coming back out on the track. Whatever it was not terminal. They will get that 60 Subway Ford Mustang fixed up and back out onto the racetrack. There he is right there as we're passing him through 1 and 2. He's going to be quite a bit faster than all of us here now, as we'll pass the, we'll get passed by the 2 of Gilliland, and we're back down to about P20, P21. Here comes Christopher Bell as well, and here comes Josh Barry absolutely firing it up the inside here in that number 60, as he's got some pretty good speed, and if he can keep himself in a free pass position, Josh Barry could still have a pretty good night, as we're actually now leaning on the door of the 1 Monster Energy Ultra White and Blue Honda Civic for Trackhouse Racing's Tyler Reddick, who's had a rough start to the round of 12, and he is not looking fast here in Nashville either. He's dropped to now the 20th position, as that was about as far as I could go until we were struggling again. Here comes Carson Kvapil back up my inside. We passed him during that whole issue with Josh Barry, but now he's going to be able to get me back, and we dropped to 20th position once again with a little over 10 laps to go still here in stage number 1. Just hoping for something to go our way here in stage 1, which we had already the engine issue help us out now, and into the wall. That's Josh Barry. Barry, who's come back on to the track. He's actually blown a tire, and the caution's going to fly, and unfortunately for Barry, it's going to be day over for that number 60, so an absolute disaster of a stage 1 for Josh Barry, as we are going to make some adjustments, and we're actually going to tighten up the car because I was getting pretty free on that run, and that was what was costing me some time. We gain 1 spot in the pits after the 4-tire pit stop now, and we'll line up behind the 20 of Christopher Bell, but it's obviously looking like we're in for, just like I said, a rough night here in Nashville, as we have a very slow launch. Who's up there not going? It's the 6 of Christian Eckes, who just simply cannot take off as we head into turn number 1. That's going to cost us some ground as well. Carson Hocevar leads the way now as we roll through 1 off of turn number 2, 3 wide, clear of the 20, and the 17 will slide across the nose of the Fastenal Ford Mustang for RFK, Chris Buescher, as we head into turn number 3. Back into the top 20 as Hocevar continues to lead. Up there in the mix is Kyle Larson, Jesse Love, who comes in tied for the last spot with Chase Elliott, and as well William Byron, who comes in the lowest on the playoff grid, almost 20 points out, and he is up there in the conversation. So don't rule out William Byron. We talked about what he did in the round of 16 going into the elimination race of New Hampshire, and he put together a great run below the cut line to get himself into this round of 12. 12 here as we're beating doors with a 27, and we are just having a horrible time out here tonight now as Bell will clear me as well into turn number 3. Chase Elliott's not having a very good night. He's only a couple spots in front of me, so some big names that can't afford struggles. Christopher Bell and Chase Elliott, and unfortunately they're both struggling right now outside the top 10, while drivers below the cut line are in towards the top 10 running positions, such as, of course, William Byron, and of course the as well 81 of Jesse Love, who, I mean, we say he's below the cut line. He's kind of tied for that last spot, but nonetheless, I mean, right now it's not going to be a tie for much longer. Final lap of the stage, Chase Elliott well outside of the top 10. William Byron, Carson Hocevar were battling for the stage win, but it's going to go to the number 4 of Carson Hocevar down the front straightaway. Hocevar beats William Byron to the line. Zilish in the top 3 with Jesse Love as well in the top 5. As the rest of the field comes to the stripe, we will be P18. Not a good stage 1 at all. We're going to come in, of course, for tires and feel. You see as well Gibbs, Larson, Bowman, the other playoff drivers inside the top 10. So another driver below the cut line, Alex Bowman, scoring stage points. But we're going to add some grill tape and actually free the car back up just a little bit. Make some tire pressure adjustments as well. And at this point, I'm kind of just seeing what works and what doesn't. As we gain a spot, Chase Elliott drops 2. So we're up to P17 for this restart now behind the number 20 Yahoo Toyota Camry of Christopher Bell. The green flag is back out. We take off here from Nashville for stage number 2. Just behind that 20, and then just behind me as well, you got the 15 of Gio Ruggiero, who's putting together a pretty solid run tonight here from Nashville Superspeedway. Up the inside of the 27 of Carson Coapel. He's having a great run as well for Andretti Global. Now as we head down this bank straightaway, there you see the 48 of Rajah Caruth. Now he was so strong in Dover until a late tire failure ruined his day as well. As now up towards the front, it's still Hocevar and Zilish running in the first couple of positions. Now Ryan Blaney dropping down the order. Ryan Blaney had a really good race in Dover, but he cannot afford a poor performance. If he has a really rough day like this, if he runs 15th all race long, he's going to go into the Roval in pretty rough shape. I think he could still find himself above the cut line, but it just, like I said, it wouldn't be pretty. And Ryan Blaney is not a driver that stands out to me when we go to the road courses in this career mode that's going to run well. So I think Blaney, honestly, if I'm Ryan Blaney, I want a minimum 15 points, preferably 20 points above the cut line going into the Roval. Anything less than that, I would be pretty uncomfortable. Speaking of uncomfortable, 48 into the onside wall hard. Tire down, 2 back-to-back races with a tire failure. Caruth into the wall. He is, I believe, not out of this race. We'll have to wait and see. But nonetheless, we're all going to stay out and get ready to go back racing. We'll line up behind the 23 of Blaney. Ty Gibbs as well outside of the top 10 now in that 54. Ty Gibbs has really picked it up in the playoffs. Of course, he won the Brickyard 400 just before the playoffs, but hasn't won inside the playoffs, but he is still putting together a very solid run. Honestly, better than I expected, because he was pretty quiet throughout the majority of the regular season. He was doing just enough. He wasn't doing anything special, but he's really turned it up lately and had a great run going in Dover. He ran really well in the round of 16 as well. That 54 is definitely a driver we have to watch. Christopher Bell, I mean, he could go either way. It seems like there's a bit of inconsistency in Christopher Bell this season. Of course, 2 wins on the season for him. Ryan Blaney has been super strong as of late, but we're not necessarily seeing it tonight. But I mean, look at me. I mean, right now, if we continue running like we are, after 5 races in the playoffs, we're going to only have 2 top 10s, but we still got time to turn things around here now as we'll clear the 27 of Carson Coapel, and we're up into the top 15 now as we come to lap 10, but unfortunately it was pretty short-lived, as I'm already starting to slip and slide around this racetrack a little bit now, as I might have been a little bit too aggressive on adjusting this car towards the more free side. As William Byron's leading, he's actually battling with Jesse Love. William Byron, I'm telling you, he's starting to put some pressure on the playoff grid of like Chase Elliott and the guys that are just above the cut line. As we head into turn 1, Ruggiero passes me, and his teammate of Taylor Gray as well up here in the top 20. Both drivers having a really good performance here tonight in Nashville, and Gio Ruggiero has outperformed Taylor Gray in his rookie season for the majority of this season. As here comes Rajah Caruth rebounding from that tire failure up into the top 20 now, as Jesse Love now leads in that 81, looking for his 3rd win on the season, as he would quite literally love to go into the Roval above the cut line now, as we are continuing to drop. But now new leader Connor Zilisch with less than 10 laps to go in stage 2. Now Chase Elliott's up my inside. I am sliding nearly into the right rear of the 9 down the back straightaway, as I have definitely gone way too far on the adjustments. We are going to have to completely reverse them when we get to the end of this stage, hoping that a caution's coming here because I need it. We are hanging on. Here comes Joey Logano through the tri-oval as well. He's going to pass us into turn number 1, and his Penske Racing teammate of Todd Gilliland just behind as well. Then Bubba Wallace. I think we're going to continue to drop here for the rest of the stage, probably until like 25th, 26th, unless a caution comes out now, as we'll stay just in front of the 2 now of Gilliland as we get him through 3 and 4, as now new leader Ross Chastain with 6 laps to go. In the stage, we're sliding. We've caught the apron. We've self-spun through the center of 1 and 2 into the outside wall off the corner. Caution is out by AI is stupid and pulls into oncoming traffic, but the caution flies and a self-spin. That's embarrassing. I mean, the car was just driving so bad, and we're gonna pit for tires and fuel and immediately go back on the adjustments we made, and just confusion of like, where do I go with the adjustments at this point, because the car's crap. It's terrible. And this is why the regular season accumulation of playoff points is so important, because we can fall back on this today. We're down to 24th for what's now going to be, I believe, 2 laps to go in stage 2. Yes, it is. So stage 2, not over. We're racing for 2 more laps, and Ross Chastain, non-playoff driver, leads the way down into turn number 1. Can he hold on to the stage win, or can Carson Hocevar, Connor Zilisch, Jesse Love, or William Byron maybe steal the stage win, as we are just trying to put ourselves in the best position for stage 3? I think I'm going to pit again, honestly, at the end of the stage. I think everyone's going to stay out because we're only running 2 laps under green here, but I think I'm going to pit again because we need to put some kind of advantage in our boat, you know? I mean, if things are not going well right now as we exit turn 4, 1 lap to go in stage number 2, and it's all the 45 of Ross Chastain in that Busch Light Toyota Camry leading the way into turn number 1. But hold on, you can see it from here. Now to the lead is the 24, William Byron, and the Valvoline colors here tonight under the lights down the back straightaway. Zane Smith to my inside, and we have gone nowhere here on this restart, but I wasn't really trying because I've already made up my mind of, okay, I'm going to pit again right here at the end of the stage, so I was just kind of hanging on because I knew I was going to be in the back. But William Byron takes the stage victory, and Carson Hocevar in the top 5. Alex Bowman's up there as well, as that's going to end stage 2, and it's going to be Byron, and then Hocevar, Bowman, Love, Zilisch, Larson, Gibbs, the playoff drivers, scoring stage points. We're going to pit, and we're going to go to the back of the field because I need some kind of advantage, because clearly I am terrible tonight, and we need something. Now, this advantage is only going to be like 2 to 3% tire wear less than what the other drivers have, but I am looking for anything right now because clearly what we've done hasn't worked. So we've made adjustments, of course, on that recent pit stop, not the one we just made, but the one before that. We've tightened up the car after that self-spin, and hopefully over the long run, this car isn't going to just fall off a cliff. I mean, you saw it before we spun. We started dropping positions like crazy over the course of 3 or 4 laps. We were dropping a position or 2 per lap, it felt like. So we are going to have to get aggressive on this restart, and then we're just going to have to hope that the long run pace in this car is better, and mainly just the car hopefully will be more under control, basically, now, as William Byron, like I said, he is putting the pressure on to this playoff field. Now, William Byron has not won a race this season, winless season for that 24. What a story it would be if he could find his way to victory lane here today, as I really used up that 21, not on purpose. He slides. Austin Cindric fortunately saves it there in that Wood Brothers 21 Ford Mustang, as we continue to just carve our way forward, but the progress is not coming as quick as I would like it to. I'm just kind of slowly picking off these positions. We're into the top 30, now passing the 16 of Andres Perez. Brought out an earlier caution. I think he brought out the first caution, if I'm not mistaken, but nonetheless, we continue to go forward. We're up into the 27th position, but like I said, the progress, it's just not fast enough, and that's how I know we just don't have what we need, and it's going to take a miracle. Now, there's one potential plot that could work out in our favor here. We can run about 2 extra laps on fuel than the rest of the field. So if this goes green and we get to the green flag pit cycle, we can stay out a couple laps longer, hope we catch a caution, and trap the field a lap down, pit, they'll take the wave around, and then we'll be restarting preferably in the lead, and we'll probably finish better than what we would have if the race kind of just plays out normally. So that is certainly something that could happen, as we have gotten ourselves into the top 25 at this point. New leader, actually the 4 of Carson Hocevar, is going to take the lead from the 24 of Byron as we continue to try and get ourselves in towards the top 20 running spot. We'll clear the number 2 Generators Ford Mustang of Todd Gilliland. I was able to get as well past the 17 of Chris Buescher, and we had gotten ourselves now into 21st position. So we just got to get up to that 27 for the 20th spot. As you can see me, I kind of slid right there on the exit of turn 2. So the handling is starting to go away a little bit as William Byron retakes the lead. Him and in the 4 of Hocevar, they were kind of going back and forth at it in stage 2, and they're kind of doing the same thing now as well, as we come to 20 laps to go in this race. And obviously we know we're going to be giving up points today no matter what at this point, unless a miracle strikes. But at the end of the day, we can afford a bad race, so it's not the end of the world, but obviously we can't make a habit of this, that's for sure, especially going into the round of 8. We know we're going to show up in the Roval as William Byron would pit from the lead. Alex Bowman's going to go an extra lap, and he won't be the only one. As Carson Kwample comes in, we're going to stay out an additional 2 laps or so, and then we'll make our pit stop. So coming around one more lap, and everybody else comes into the pits, and our field light comes on. We're going to come in at the end of this lap right here. So we'll be coming in with 15 to go as we round turn 2. Here's Carson Hocevar as I go for a bit of a slide now, and we're not even going to lap our teammate of Hocevar into turn number 3. He's going to be able to pass me, and obviously I'm trying to get down to the inside and get into the pits. What I'm going to be doing is 4 tires, but I'm going to be freeing up the car because the car at this point, I mean, we know it falls off a cliff, but we also only have 15 laps to go, so it's not going to be as many laps as we've done in those long runs. So we're going to free up the car quite a bit here, down to 49.7 on the wedge from like a 50.3. That's a big swing at the car, but I think this is going to be the right one. I hope it's going to be the right one. It's going to be a 15.4 second pit stop now. We'll get the tires on, and we'll get ready to go back racing here from Nashville Superspeedway. And look at the gap, we're coming out way behind the leader of Carson Hocevar, who's actually entering some lap traffic now, as you are going to see us drop to 22nd position. We'll come out just in front of the 12 of Zane Smith. But that's all we got right now. We got to try and focus in on running down the 2, who's just a second in front of us here over the next 10 laps or so. As Hocevar hits 10 laps to go, caution! Ryan Preece into the outside wall, tire down for the Andretti driver, the Daytona 500 winner from this season, and the caution is out. Certainly that has to mean Zane Smith's got a crash on the way, right? Nonetheless, we are going to use this as an opportunity. We're pitting for 4 tires again, and we'll drop to 30th. We give up like 8 positions, and we are now going to have a tire advantage, and a way larger tire advantage than what we had at the beginning of stage 3. And now we've got less than 10 laps to go, and Carson Hocevar leads away. 7 laps of racing. Who's going to punch their ticket into the round of 8 here from Nashville Superspeedway? We've got some work to do. We're going to try and go out to the outside and roll the top, but immediately that doesn't work. It completely stalls my run out now as we head down this backstretch. So that was a terrible idea, and I just cost myself multiple positions into turn number 3. We'll dive back down to the inside behind the 94, 33rd position of Parker Retzlaff for GMS right now, and we'll easily clear on the exit of turn 4. Now starting to rip the bottom, trying to go forward here to the back of the 3, to the back of the 21. We'll continue to the inside as Hocevar continues to lead the race, and it's Zilish up there now taking the lead actually, and William Byron is up there in P3 trying to take second from Hocevar in these closing laps. Now Connor Zilish, is it tonight the night going to be where he gets his 4th win on the season? It would be his 2nd win of the playoffs now, as we have gotten into the top 20, and obviously that basically certifies that we made the right move pitting. And now passing Chase Elliott for 18th. Caution, Zane Smith is around. Oh my goodness, I really breathed that into existence. Caution is out. NASCAR overtime here from Nashville. Out in front, it's Zilish and Hocevar the front row, but watch out on row 2. William Byron in 3rd position. Could he pounce and maybe steal the win? The green flag is out. NASCAR overtime for the 2nd race of the round of 12 now. 3 drivers right there on top of each other that have been so strong tonight. Don't even count out Ross Chastain in the 45 as we head down into turn 1. He restarts in the 4th position now as Elliott's alongside. Chase Elliott realizes already the situation Drivers below the cut line have outran him all night. Elliott knows he's going to be in a bad position going into the Roval. He is going to have to step up big time next episode. Zilish is running the top through 3 and out of turn 4. William Byron's going to the lead, coming to the white flag. Can William Byron pull this off? As we start the final lap from Nashville Superspeedway, we're 3 wide in the middle between Ruggiero on my outside, Elliott on the inside. Cleared by the 9, we'll jump back down as soon as we can. Byron's clear down the back straightaway. Zilish is going in the wrong direction now as we head down towards 3 and 4 for the final time. Can we get Chase Elliott now as we'll try to get it up the inside? There we go, and we're going to get a run on him, but William Byron out of turn 4, 18 points below the cut line. No more Byrons into the round of 8 with his first win on the season over Jesse Love. William Byron is back on top, and he picks up the win in overtime. Love in second, Zilish, Bowman, Hocevar the top 5. Blaney sneaks into the top 10 after a bit of a midnight. What a finish, and Chase Elliott with a very mediocre night is going to find himself in even worse shape than what he would have been without William Byron winning. But Byron winning that race really hurts him, and William Byron 2 rounds in a row goes from below the cut line to putting himself in. And you see the updated playoff grid. Even after a rough night for us, we give up 15 points. We're now 30 points above the cut line going into the Roval, which we know we're going to be fighting for the win there. Zilish is 54 points above, Hocevar 31. All of Junior Motorsports pretty well can cruise into the round of 8, but it gets super tight at the bottom of the cut line. Jesse Love 12 points above, Ryan Blaney 11 points above. That's the last spot in. Christopher Bell needs to make up 11 points. Alex Bowman needs to make up 18 points. Chase Elliott 27 points back. I would basically say him and Tyler Reddick are in a must-win scenario going into the Charlotte Roval. I don't have much faith in the Reddick Trankhouse car, but Elliott road course, it's very well possible. That's going to do it for me, and we will decide the 4 drivers eliminated in the next episode from the Charlotte Roval. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.